Good morning, everyone. We've got a great day of Dota 2 here for you over on the stream, and I think we got one of the hypest matches to cast today, Purge.
We do. There's actually so many good games over here. You literally do not want to switch streams, I promise you. But the first one that's up is going to be EG versus OG. Some of our favorite teams, naturally. But it's going to be a really good match. They're both placed very similarly in their groups, so obviously every match is really important, but this one's going to be, it's like the Titans in a lot of ways. EG, a huge organization, expected to be about second place overall. No memes promised, they're good. And OG has been overperforming like they usually do at TI, despite barely making it here. They had that really tough series against Tundra in the qualifiers. So who's going to win this one? I don't know, but there's going to be a lot of effort put into this match.
I mean, this is the big one. This is the big grudge match. We've gotten, I believe OG put a tweet out yesterday saying that they haven't been defeated for quite a while. Like, they had a couple draws, a lot of wins at yes, at TI. And the last person to stop them was, of course, EG. So they're like, can they break the streak? But then immediately afterwards, they ended up losing to Aster.
They probably saw their tweet and they're like, oh no, we have all this pressure, and then they lost. No, it happens. Aster's a very solid team when they actually have all their 5 players playing. Yes. Clearly, it's the difference maker. But yeah, this match is going to be really sick. The player matchups are going to be great. Sumail playing his old team. Oh, there's so many good storylines here.
So many good storylines. I'm super excited about it. And of course, just the age-old, NA versus EU debacle. What side do you land on?
Is it? Let me look at the players quick.
Okay, all right. Evil Genius is a North American org, okay?
A little
it's
overplayed,
an international
maybe.
Team, but it is
the
an
NA
team
with Crit on it, who's an EU player, Fly, kind of basically an EU
Look, we
player
have Arteezy. We have Arteezy.
That's true. There is Arteezy. The orgs, yes, are a little bit region-based. Anyways, let's hop into the game here. First phase. Not going to see an IO. It's a hero pairing that EG's been doing okay with, but something I've seen almost every team do when they do get IOs, they grab Storm. And that's a hero that they played it 3 times, they've only won 1 of those 3 games. And in some ways, I feel like the IO is restricting the drafts a little bit because it's like forces your cores down to these kind of static play styles. It has to be an IO pairing. Maybe hurts the draft a little bit. But with that said, they're going to ban out Storm themselves on OG. They banned the Tiny, and we're also not going to see a Snapfire, who's a hero that's been very popular. I think it's the most picked right now. It kind of covers a lot of different bases. You get a 4-staff effectively with the cookie at all stages of the game, which is great for making sure you don't get initiated on.
Yeah, it's definitely crept into the meta. Kind of interesting that I know that Abed is very, very fond of that Storm Spirit. It's very strong in the meta. It hasn't had a great win rate, though. According to the stats man that we have, I think it's Lemaire who's been doing that for us, bless him, has shown that it's like a 33% win rate so far.
Yeah, it's a bit rough for him. But what I think is important is that, or at least what I've seen so far from all the games, we've seen a moderate amount of Storm Spirits, and I feel like I haven't seen a lot of games where Storm seemed like insanely good. It's obviously great at initiating. It's going to be able to jump across the map and start teamfights. It pairs well with IO on paper by all means because you can jump so far, get that disable, set up the relocate timing. But in most other situations, we've seen Storm Spirits punished. We've seen them slow to catch up. They've been behind in net worth as a whole. But teams still value it, clearly. And if it does have a good game, maybe we just haven't caught him on our streams. So Monkey King is going to be the opener for EG. Seeing Crit playing this in pubs. Teams across the board have it on the table to give them their win the lane type things if they want to play as a core. So gives EG great flexibility to start things off. And there's another great flexible hero.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of Elder Titan recently, especially because of the fact it gives you such an advantage around that Roche pit. You've got the ability to go throw out the vision and also just to disrupt everything if you're in the right position. So you have to make sure that you know exactly where he is if you're going for that Roche. But also another fun fact, too, with the Monkey King getting picked up over on Evil Geniuses, obviously very, very popular. This is a hero that can be run really in multitudes of positions right now. But also, I believe OG has like a 96% win rate with it currently as well. So definitely snapping it out of OG's hands, taking that monkey business away from them. They thrive on that power.
Which makes a lot of sense because it is classically one of their heroes. It's been one of the first heroes Thompson was known for right before he got to TI 8. And then Seb flirted with it for a while as the offlane when Witchblade came out, or at least they tried to make it work in the offlane. I think that was DPC Season 1. Didn't quite work great there, but obviously their support players are going to be excellent on him as well. But the Magnus and the ET kind of covers a lot of bases. It's going to make it easy for them to steroid up whatever carry they end up going with, or mid player depending. And then skewer plays are very effective as well to forcing your opponents in slightly bad team fights because there's just such a fickle game where you got those tanky heroes in the middle between where their team is and yours, and if you can just skewer him back to your team, it doesn't feel bad anymore to kill that tanky guy. So Magnus can be really powerful anyways, and it's a Seb special. So it makes a lot of sense for OG to open this, open with this, and plus Empower plus ET combos is just going to be really effective. RP them together. Whoever is going in is going to have Empower, and then ET's going to be able to amplify all that damage by a huge amount.
Definitely see those synergies coming out bright and early for the side of OG. They pick up the Tide Hunter for Ice, Ice, Ice. That's what I'm assuming.
Remaining.
Have seen, you know, some movement with this hero, occasionally placed in the mid lane, not necessarily solid in just the off lane.
And supports as well. We see teams sometimes go for that, and it seems okay. You don't have as much ability to be tanky, but in a really aggressive place, but it functions as a support if you really want to go that way. So, and EG is definitely one of those teams that's willing to switch it up occasionally to do some weird stuff. But yeah, Tide as a core is typically going to feel a lot better for a hero. And against potential ET support, Tide functions pretty well. Anchor Smash doesn't reduce the bonus damage that ET gets with his Spirit, but having damage block and Anchor Smash is a good way to help offset that harass that ET applies to either himself or his lane partner. But we've seen a lot of Tides in some of the games we've covered.
S4 played a pretty good Tide the other
He
day.
did.
We saw Old 11. Old 11 was incredible. That man,
Yeah.
when he's in for a fight, he is in for the fight. The rest of the team better get there
Turn to
really
battle.
fast.
Yeah, he's been doing a really good job. But almost every Tide I've seen has had pretty solid performances. And there's a lot of cool dueling combos as well with Tide due to minus armor. It gives you some Roche capabilities. The general team fight advantage stuff that Tide provides is just really safe and secure. Guaranteed disable on a lot of heroes once you
10
get Blink.
seconds remaining.
And then there's almost always follow-up. So having 2 stuns right off the bat for EG is going to make getting these pickoffs
5
feel a little bit
seconds
easier.
remaining.
So Tinkerbands now from EG, something they're worried about.
OG's turn to
Seeing
battle.
Ember Spirit Band, that's something EG's been successful with on
geniuses
Abed.
turn
They have a
to
pretty good win
battle.
rate with that so far. And if you do have a playstyle where you want to poke a little bit and fish for the right team fight, Ember is excellent there.
Get the Clink span. That is something that been seeing a lot of Sumail.
Yeah.
Been playing that hero recently,
10
so it makes sense that
seconds
they'd want to
remaining.
remove it there from the pool.
I think they had like an amazing game on him the first day, and then I saw him
5
playing
seconds
a different
remaining.
match later on. Don't remember. I think I didn't get to see the end of that game that I'm thinking of, but you know, it's still
OG's
a pretty good
turn
carry.
to battle.
Not the most broken in the world, but not like it was a month ago. I really was disgusted with Clinks. I gotta say a month ago.
The amount of damage that they could output was just insane. I think
While
it
also
was,
farming super fast.
right.
While also
ESL
safely
Fall
doing it.
was
Yeah.
like insane. Watching this hero just suddenly, everyone was just picking it. They're trying to
10
figure out what's the
seconds
perfect build. Do you go with the Maelstrom? Do you go with crits? So yeah, I'm glad to see it
5
nerfed a little
seconds
bit.
remaining.
Not in this game as well, for sure. I'm interested if OG might go for that Legion Commander again. It's got about 100% win rate currently as a support too, and like that's very fascinating.
I
to
think
me.
they picked 4 times and 3 were support, and they won every game.
I think
one
one was
offlane.
Thompson mid with it,
Really?
which is very close to my heart because
Yeah.
you know in SA that is the common thing that you'll see is a Legion Commander just me mid goes right out.
It's a fun one, yeah, for sure. It's because you get so many more levels. It's a slightly different play style. You're closer on the map, so it's maybe easier to move around and get duels. Kind of fun one for sure.
10 seconds
They protect
remaining.
themselves on the EG side by banning out Slark. Very good hero against some of those offlaners.
5
So
seconds
Slark is
remaining.
gone, would have been good with Empower as well. But OG's gonna go for a Hoodwink. And now they're going to get to see basically the whole EG draft without revealing much of their own. They could play Hoodwink as a core. I think I've only seen it as a support myself so far. But Topson classically did like playing it mid, but I'm not so sure we'll
It's
see
very
it
much a Soxa hero though too. Sox is
true.
excellent with the Hoodwink, so I wouldn't be surprised. Again, it's a great patch. We're seeing a lot of flexibility coming out with many of these different heroes. Hoodwink can be moved in multiple positions, so can the Magnus. We've seen No Tail rock that Magnus as a position 5 as well. So really playing some 4D chess right now, and also I'm sure there's a lot of actual team meta between the two of them.
Yeah, for sure. They're in the same group, so they've been playing a lot of the same teams. Maybe you can get some of that information as well to see what they did and how your opponents reacted and use that for planning stage. Well, if we do this, this is how they're going to react, and using that information, you can end up possibly outdrafting them in the drafting stage. So EG here, going to have to pick their next 2 heroes, taking their time to figure them both out. You don't necessarily want to pick the first one and then wait 30 seconds and then pick the second one. It saves you more time on the clock, but then your opponents have more time knowing what your 2 heroes are. So they're going to go for a Disruptor pick first, and we'll see what they do. They've got 30 extra seconds now by grabbing that one. Doesn't reveal too much. Disruptors felt quite good from the games we've watched, actually. Pretty routinely gives you nice advantages in some of these mid-game skirmishes, especially against mobile heroes like Magnus or potentially Hoodwink. Just being able to guarantee that they're locked down and you can secure the kills is really helpful.
All right, well, these lanes are starting to shape up a little bit more now that we have the Invoker picked up as well as the Disruptor. But OG, they're responding very, very quickly. They know what they want to do here. And this is something that I thought was really interesting. I was having a discussion this morning when I was getting my hair and makeup done with Mr. Avo Plus. Wonderful fella. And
he's good at hair and makeup, too.
Oh, yes, he's fabulous.
Incredible.
You know, have you seen him today? His style, his fashion. Like a bright pink jacket, very
cool.
eye-catching. But we were discussing, you know, the differences between the two teams, and we figured, you know, evil geniuses, they tend to be very structured, right? You know that they're going to gain control of the map very, very early on, or at least they'd like to. Not necessarily, you know, going for an all-in push strat, but they just have really good control. OG, on the other hand, controlled chaos. You're never sure where they're going to go. You know, EG, I'm sure probably aware of this, considering, you know, they're one of the best teams in the world, but it's always a guessing game when you're playing up against OG, not only for how they're going to lane things, because let's face it, Topson does crazy things all the time. No Tail likes to be very flexible too, but also they don't necessarily play the map the way that some of the more traditional teams might, right? It's a mind game when you're going up against this.
Yeah, and that's very important because most teams now are, basically all teams now are very good at restricting information. You only show some heroes, and everyone else wants to stay off the map pretty much all the time. That way you have to play a guessing game. Where do we really think they're ganking? A lot of teams are great at scanning those out, but if you just play aggressive at various points on the map, even if your team's not behind you, your opponents a lot of times have to just respect it and be like, well, you're there, you're playing aggressive, there's a chance, a good chance that your team is behind you, and then they gank somewhere on the map, the other side of the map instead. So it really just makes you split your resources and makes your game become less effective. And that's certainly one of the reasons OG won initially at the first TI was Topson's aggressive playstyle. So those extra deaths that happen sometimes, they can be worth it as long as your team's still getting net worth.
Can I tell you my favorite agent of chaos?
Yes.
Eternal Envy.
He is a little chaotic for sure.
Hilarious. There was a game that I was doing, I think it was casting with Jenkins, and he was playing a bristleback, and he went top to gank, and he dies. And then, like a madman, kept going top. Jenkins is like, who does that? Who fails a gank and then goes back again to try to get, like, it's just like, you know, we talk about chaos, we talk about mind games. It's very important. And because he's just so unpredictable, you know, 50-50, it caused a lot of people to you know, reevaluate, like, how do we play against this guy? Because he doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right, last pick for EG here. OG's banning out 2 carries, so they're expecting the Monkey King support, which is fairly likely. They did round out with the Juggernaut, which is pretty effective against Tidehunter in lane, typically. You just have to get him a bit lower, then you go for the spin kill. And Anchor Smash doesn't work through Blade Fear anymore, so that's pretty nice to go for them. And they're going to go for a Shadow Shaman. I don't think I've seen any other Shadow Shamans in the games I've caught so far, but this is going to make it easier for them to take towers. Monkey King is going to be their carry as a result. He's going to be laning likely against a Magnus. It's going to be a little bit rough for Mag, but you can always skewer away. Or Hoodwink can cover you, so I think it's not going to be too bad for OG in that lane setup. But Shaman does give them some really nice disables to help them disable Jug as they're about to team fight. And if they do that, it means that they're going to be able to disable follow-up, probably kill Jug easier. But now because of their support duo, they're like 2 squishy guys that don't have much mobility. Clockwork looks really solid to me. And how does this change things up? Basically, no difference other than Topson going to be playing Hoodwink. So that's the big difference maker here. Mid, Hoodwink. I haven't seen anybody else play Core yet. Maybe it's happened, but I'm excited to see how he does. Probably going to see your typical like Ags build that they transition into, but other than that, I mean, it's all fairly squishy, disable heavy supports on EG's side, so maybe a BKB for Topson is the other thing. BKB is great against Invoker, against Tide, against Disruptor Shaman, so maybe he gets BKB to protect himself a bit, but they're going to have Mag Jug. That's going to make Jug feel way better. He doesn't have to do this like sort of slow Maelstrom and Manta kind of build. I like OG's draft, but EG's has a lot of good potential as well. If Jug gets a bit behind, I feel like they're going to put so much pressure on the map with Monkey King carry and Tidehunter playing and farming very aggressively, and the supports putting pressure on towers, looking for glimpse grabs. It's going to be a really good game. Can't wait to see what happens.
For sure. I'm interested to see, too, the way, you know, we do have that Empower that Sub will be able to place over on Sumail. I'm interested to see how OG decide to play this, right? Because there's 2 ways of running this. You can have them just have Sumail off on the side doing his own thing and then have the rest of the team moving to create that movement. Or do you play nearby and you have him join in early?
That's a good question, especially for OG historically. When Ana rejoined them for DPC Season 2, the play near them thing was absolutely what they did. They stuck together very often, looking for kills, and just to rotate over, drop a healing ward, walk over, do a spin, then go back to farming. He might end up playing near them a lot, but the fact that he has a Magnus makes me assume, like, he's going to want to stay near Seb to get him power once in a while, of course, but makes me assume he's going to hit creeps a little bit more abundantly, especially because he's effective if he can spin first.
Voice lines have begun. It seems like everyone's very excited. We get to have fun dropped by Crit. No-Tail was just the birthday boy as well the other day, so he's got to be feeling very excited.
That's first TI with birthdays, right? I can relate to that a bit because my birthday's in August, so it's like almost most years during TI, it's like my birthday flaps in there somewhere.
Oh, really?
But now that everything's different, it's like they get this new special birthday experience.
The TI birthday experience.
Scrimming all day, watching replays, practicing, eating food that you're not used to. The best birthday you can have.
I mean, let's be fair. A lot of these guys, a good birthday for them is scrimming, staying in the room playing, you know, maybe getting food that's a little bit more.
Winning your scrims, that's the best day, right?
That is. You're feeling good when you win that game. When you see also, like, you know, just queuing in general, see that whole line of green, feels damn good.
It does. Winning is everything. All right, positioned right now just to maybe spot lanes. They're going to spot Crit with his Observer Ward, so they can maybe anticipate where they're going to start, but everything looks normal on the EG side, everything normal on the OG side. A little pressure, though.
A little bit of pressure over onto Ice. Doesn't seem too concerned, but No-Tail making use of that battery assault, getting a couple whacks in.
That was definitely worth it. Gush back here. Crit's maybe going to give him a little zap on the way. A couple slaps, but good harass for Clockwork to start things off. All right, trying to get into Arteezy's mind right here, I think.
Yeah, right? That must be so strange.
Yeah.
Absolutely strange to have that in there and just be like, oh, man. Do you know what it translates to?
No idea, but I see that winky emote they're using with it.
So you think it's sassy? Got it.
Yes.
All right, so we have the matchup of Topson and Abed, of course, here in this middle lane.
That should be doing just fine. In the side lane, it looks like Ice
is sitting down. So very low already.
That was No-Tail running and going for the battery salting. He's doing a great job harassing Ice. They don't have a salve on Crit. They spotted this earlier, I think, with the Observer Ward. Maybe this is why No-Tail went for that early trade, because he's having to tango up. It's hurting him a lot.
Arteezy taking a lot of damage early on. Sox also sitting a bit low. Seb has already started those mind games. He's thrown out the high five.
Another Gush bottom on No-Tail.
Gush bottom. Crit trying to run away here. We'll throw out a couple more slaps. No-Tail sitting very low.
This is really good what No-Tail's done, though, because he's gotten their HP so low that now Sumail's spin is actually a big threat. Because that's why Ice has to play safe. Ice just getting his second last hit. Sumail's at a massive 5. I don't think they're going to be able to recover from this advantage.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering. I saw that he was sitting low. I figured he probably wants a free trip back to the fountain at this point. No health, no mana left. Not really going to be able to assist too much.
Yep. It's very important he gets on the map. More regen this way that he'll be able to bring back here. Crit doing his best to deny Sumail, but only able to get some. But so far, everything looking all right for both teams. Sox are going to pull a creep wave behind because they don't want to contest against Monkey King. That makes sense. That's like the one lane that EG has a pretty decent advantage in. Monkey King versus any melee hero is not going to feel nice. So being able to separate him is great. Sox is going to be able to deny this creep wave, though. And in fact, Fly didn't head over for this. So this is going to be a big experience advantage for the starting lane for OG here. But they're doing the same thing. So they're also going to deny a creep wave of experience because they pulled the wave. So they'll go even here. Both teams happy.
A lot of scrapping early on here. No first blood just yet, but you can tell that they definitely mean business, especially No-Tail just continuously trying to just interrupt anything going on over on the side between Crit and Ice.
Topson might be going for a kill in the mid lane pretty soon here. Abed's kind of low here. He did just use his Acorn shot, just trying to keep his health in a really low point. But the fact that Topson's full regen and Abed is not, is going to make it hard for Abed to keep getting last hits.
Oh, No-Tail. No-Tail is going to be the first blood. Ice has had enough of this little robot. And it's going to take him out of the lane. So he's gone back to the fountain for the second time. Not this time of his own choosing.
It's a tough one. Clockwork does a lot of damage, but he's not the most survivable. Just some good raw HP on him. And Shaman has a lot of damage with his right click, so having to worry about Gush is a big problem. But on the bright side, it's not necessarily massively furthering Ice. He's ferrying out mangoes and things like that just to make his laning stage good right now. And that's kind of what he has to do.
I'm surprised that we're not. I guess you kind of need to stay in the lane for now, but would like to see some of these stacks being made for Ice Ice Ice, just because he has been having a little difficulty in this lane from the amount of harass being dished out to him.
I think Sumail just glyphed just to deny a range creep right there. That's how much he cares about little margins. So I'm watching him go for this last hit that he wanted so bad, and he glyphed it right before Ice got it. Gets the deny. There's the spin damage coming in.
No-Tail trying to get into position, has the battery assault on Crispmill. Moving back though. He's going to continue with these hits.
This is great. Really good damage.
Oh, this is a little bit spooky right now for Crit. He's going to go hold out the shackles, but
so
they've
worth
got
it.
the healing ward up and running.
Because Crit didn't have any more regen, actually. He just brought himself a win lace. Now he's half HP. He's got a nice wand, of course, and there's a Ring of Health on Tide, but they're, again, kind of winning the regen battle in this little trade of dual lanes. So it's going fine for them. 20 last hits now on Sumail, 16 on Tide. Some small marginal advantages, but it's a big deal in some of these matches.
It just continues to be the pulling of the wave in that top area. Bottom lane, though, No-Tail again with battery assault. Sumail clicking away, does have the spin, trying to get enough damage over onto Ice, 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 but still not able to go. Oh, there it is. There's the cogs. This is a very dead Tide Hunter. And that's going to go over to No-Tail.
It was close. He almost jukes the spin there, but they're able to catch up with the battery assault, get the great cogs with both of them stuck inside, so Ice goes down. 1K advantage to OG right now, which is pretty severe. It might be on that edge, so maybe it looks a little bit more extreme than normal, but good start for them in this lane.
It's been a pretty quiet time over in this mid lane, though. Everyone just busy working on getting their levels, getting their last hits. Right now we're looking at Thompson 27 and 9 and Voker Abed 20 and 5, so fairly even. I'm interested though to see are we going to see a situation? Oh, Fly's Courier gets sniped here. Are we going to see these rotations coming out fairly early? Do you think, or is it going to just be the Invoker just sticks in the lane the entire time? And Hoodwink try to send someone over for like a gank. Yeah,
a lot of the games we've watched recently, there hasn't been too many rotations, but this is a good game for it, I think. Another spin going on Ice Ice in the bot lane. Just, it's a level 3 actually, so pretty good amount of damage here. No-Tail's going to change it up a bit. Misses his cogs, unfortunately, but hey, back to Ice, more damage.
He's burning off some of it. The turnaround with a shackle. Ice 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 though will back off as Sumail is there with the healing ward yet again.
A little mana expensive. You do want to force Jug to do this multiple times because that's less spin mana for later, but they're going to be A-okay.
Thompson clinking away over at Fly. He'll throw out the kinetic, but has a bushwhack. Needs a couple more clicks to do it. Throws out the Acorn, so as the Vision Socks are coming in, and that's a dead Fly.
8 is 3, dude.
Oh, in the bottom lane, Ice 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 gets caught in the cogs yet again. Sumail collecting the kill this time.
They are just pressuring here. Really nicely done by OG so far. That's going to be an EP that does land on Thompson, but spends his mana right before it gets burned away anyways, and he's doing just fine. But the
the rotation here from Crit. He's got the shackle. They even bring the disruptor to make sure that this little squirrel gets kept in the cage.
Nicely done. Great rotation. 2 points in Hex there for Crit, and a really solid gank. That's the rotation value from these supports, basically. Disruptor's not the best at rotating, but obviously Shaman is excellent. Great base damage, good disables, and he's able to get there and put wards down on the long way, too.
He's just a little bit too fast here, but you know who's nearby? It's Arteezy. And he says, I will take that, although it still goes over to Fly. We do have some nice stacks being built, though, over here on the side of OG, which they're very aware of.
Ooh, those are good ones. Fat stack there. I guess Jug's going to kill with Empower. That's the goal. He's going to go for a Yasha build. You can get away with this when you've got an Empower offlaner. Another spin for Harass on Ice 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 just to lower him down. But he's got Hood now. The instant Hood rush to lower the spin damage that Jug can deal. Because otherwise he just gets zoned too easily. It's like a little bit of mana, a wand here and there. And he just has to play defensive and not get as much farm. But he is struggling. 24 last hits now compared to Sumail's 46. The Jug really paying off here with the Clockwork as well. Oh, and there's the Omni Slash bottom too, but it jumps to the neutrals. A little unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Sumail. Ice Ice Ice, though, is still climbing away, and we do have another whole little fight going on as Saksa is trying to run out here. Nice boundless landing coming out from Arteezy. I'm not sure they're going to continue to follow, though. And this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see, now that Fly has noticed that they have all these stacks, I would almost like to see them maybe rotate up the Tide Hunter. maybe not just yet,
Yeah.
but definitely take it together because he's having some difficulties in that lane. And these are some fat stacks, like you said.
That's the problem, though, is that Tide's like the only guy that can take it. But look at his skill build. He's got 3 points in Kraken Shell because his lane is so hard. They can't easily do this. So, yeah, Seb's going to take it himself with help from Topson. They both have Empower, but they're just trying to get this cleaned up off the map. Get the gold, get the experience, and more importantly, the neutral items. Getting them all in that first, like, minute period after they spawn is a nice advantage.
I always like the neutral item pinata when you take a camp that's been stacked a couple times and they all just pop out all at once. It's a very satisfying experience.
It is, really, yeah, because it's basically like giving everybody on your team like a bracer worth of net worth at the start of the game, and sometimes it's even more powerful. It's regen, it's mana regen. Those kinds of things end up meaning you don't have to buy consumables anymore, that kind of thing. Topson again getting his mana drained here due to an EMP, but No-Tail being a little aggressive. Dire team scan in. They know that No-Tail headed over here. They just don't know exactly where
They have great wards. If you look over in that middle lane there, you can see that they've got the back of the tower covered and they've got the front area. So any sort of movement coming out from the side of OG, EG is very, very in the know about it.
And that could have been just because they're worried about No-Tail's rotations, most likely. Because that's going to spot rotations between the mid lane and the bot lane, maybe. So Topson and No-Tail both covered with these this glut of wards they have put down. But still a small gold advantage for OG, but it's not blowing up wide, so everything's fine for them right now. Jug's going to be pressuring top tower by himself, though. Maybe we'll see EG rotate now that they see some heroes on the map, but for now, yeah, Arteezy is going to rotate and defend that now that he knows the supports aren't there. So ward's paying off for EG.
You can see some more movement, though. They want to try to secure this bottom tower on the side of EG, take away some of this advantage, and they can see Seb is digging further and further into the tree line with the skewer. There's so many heroes from EG, though. This is not looking good for them. In fact, they're all here, and they all want to just get rid of Seb.
Not much he can do about that one. He could have skewered and tried TPing, but like Invoker's,
there's too much.
Good chance he tornadoes that anyways, so they're still going to play in the area, though. But yeah, Sox is kind of ditching now.
No-Tail's also hightailing it out of there. Fly, though, is going to get held into place. Abed with the follow-up. Looks like they'll maybe get the kill. Yeah, they'll be able to get the kill on Fly. So a nice quick little pick-off. Of course, going to walk right into Ice, Ice, Ice. So it's going to be a little bit of a trade here. Splitter going through the sharpshooter. The follow-up with the Ravage. Abed running for his life from Cement. Does have the Omni Slash, but they're just chasing after Ice, Ice, Ice. Soxa will collect that kill.
Dude, those punches from Elder Titan were beefy. He's got 3 points in Astral Spirit here. You couldn't even tell that's a tanky hero normally on the Tide. He's got damage block, but who cares? He's probably hitting for like 150. You're blocking 40 of it. And they end up not defending the tower, but they got a bunch of really crucial kills. I mean, No-Tail traded his life for the 5. That gets him more levels, gets him to 6 a bit faster. It's delayed slightly, but he's catching up. Topson gets a kill as well on crit, and then they also, Ravage gets burnt. I mean, that's 3 great pickoffs.
Yeah, this opens it up a bit more here for the side of OG. Now taking a bit of harass, still has the Omni. They do want to protect this mid tower, though. It's very important for that Roche advantage. They already lost the top tower. Sumail was allowed to just kind of do his own thing while they were making moves below. But we do get a smoke coming out for the side of EG.
Great net worth on those two right now. The Topson's Hoodwink and Sumail's Jug, both sitting equal net worth. So even though Monkey King basically won his lane, it just felt like to me like he spent so much time running around, playing behind the tier 1 tower, and maybe he just got less last hits.
Oh, the immediate spot though. This is a little squirrel that perhaps has spent too much time hiding over into the tree line because EG knew exactly where she was.
Yeah, they anticipated that one basically. They guessed or assumed somebody would be playing that area. Topson was hoping to get a cheeky solo pickoff on Arteezy, which would have been massively game impacting, but instead he's going to end up dying and giving Monkey a big net worth jump. Now they're equal in net worth, so kind of a big mistake by Topson, but excellent punish by EG.
I feel like this is textbook EG right now, the way that they're moving, the way that they're trying to gain control of the map.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Full control of the jungle area after you've taken the safe lane tier 1. You keep 1 core, ideally the tanky guy near mid tower, because he's the hardest to dive and kill. So he should be safe to make sure they don't get to tower pressure. And now this just opens up a lot of area on the map for them. Surprisingly, Sumail, I assume maybe he would play opposite side of the map as well to be safe, but maybe they feel like it's too much pressure.
Really going right for this pressure here. Topson with Bushwhack, hunts himself a monkey. Ooh, the hook shot, not not quite there.
Little too short. Could have been an okay grab there. Thompson gets to follow up on that, but fortunately they miss it. Not even that much damage dealt to the tower, to be honest. They glyphed it. I thought it was going to be fine against the wards, but once the next creep wave came, ends up not doing much. But I don't really blame Crit for going for that, because he's got Arcane Boots, so he had the mana, and it's not like they were going to get a great opportunity to drop the wards mid. So better to like force some rotations and get a little bit done here. But they're smoking. They're going to try to kill Thompson here.
Easy, throwing out the Boundless. There is that gank in the other part, though. Thompson, they drop the Static Storm, and they'll get themselves a kill on Thompson. And in the top lane, Sumail will find himself a kill on Crit. Soxa getting the final hit on Arteezy.
All right, pretty good for him. Lose Thompson, but they get 2 kills, so
Yeah.
they'll be really happy with that, putting it on Jug. Thompson, again, very happy to self-sacrifice, and despite these 2 deaths now for him, his net worth is still looking really good because his team has also done the right thing and ganked the Monkey. So his goes down, Monkey goes down, Jug goes up, and with Empower, it's only going to get better as the game continues.
Indeed, it is. The fortification has been used in the mid. That's the reveal of the blink over on Ice, Ice, Ice. The shove back. He's going to try to negate some of this damage, of course, using that hood, but it's going to be just too much and overwhelm him.
And they're not set up, so they get an easy grab due to the skewer back. Blink finished for Seb, and that's the power of Magnus. Just pulls people out of position, and now the pressure continues. Diffusal Blade's finished for Jug. He's queuing up Manta. He's already got 900 gold towards the last 2 pieces, so his trajectory is sitting so good here. He's not being greedy at all. He's not just skilling stats. That's in some ways not greedy, I guess. What he's doing is slightly greedy, but he's so far ahead in net worth, he absolutely just wants to get maximum damage here. Doesn't care as much about slight HP increase.
It definitely feels like the way that OG is playing. You know, I asked that question earlier. Are they going to be like sticking together and just, you know, having all these like kind of scraps, or are they going to just send Sumail off by himself? And it feels like Sumail's been very active so far.
He has, yeah. He's been farming a lot, but now his team's rotating to him to fight. And EG's just been waiting for Thompson to show in the bot lane again. This is like 30 seconds for both of them. Fly's going to spot him, though.
Yeah, they just go. Drag him right back with the Shockwave. And it's a quick and easy kill.
Yeah, and that's what EG wants. That's why Fly started moving there, because he was trying to anticipate a gank that would come over and possibly counter him. He gets killed, Abed's fine. That's exactly the move they want to make. But for once, Thompson read their play effectively and doesn't go in the danger zone. So and now the gank goes on the other side of the map. If they were bottom, they're probably TPing away. And now he's going to run into Crit.
Oh, definitely sees Crit already throwing out the Hex. Got the Sharpshooter in place.
That combo is going to do so much damage because Natural Order is going to lower their magic resistance even further. So it's like this nuke that already is monster magic damage is going to be even higher. It's a good combo. And he's going straight for Atos into Gleipnir on Hoodwink. So pretty easy disable setups.
It's Abed baiting No Tail a bit here. They throw out the cogs. They've got the Meatball, Cold Snap. Spear Missile Charge goes for the hook shot. He's going to try to see if he can stay alive or maybe at least just make some space. And he's looking pretty good right here. Nope, but the Tornado will hit its mark. And in the bottom lane, we lose Seb as well.
Ooh, that's a big one bottom. Yeah, Arteezy helping out with that. Fly committing ulti as well. They're smoked because they're trying to get the next fight happening. They've got 1 Boundless Strike hit left with Jingu Mastery, so if they can get there and start a fight like right now,
trying.
it could
They're
be huge.
beelining it over there. They see Soxa. They want this Elder Titan. They'll drop the Serpent Wards. And it looks like OG not keen on trying to defend this at this time.
Yeah, it's impossible. No glyph. Still 2 heroes respawning, so Tier 1 tower does fall. But 5k gold advantage for OG, man, they are getting ahead. Now, there are some periods of the game that could be scary for OG, even if this net worth continues creeping up. Talking Cataclysm stuff, Invoker's got to get a lot of levels. He doesn't buy Midas, though, so his overall levels is going to be weaker. So transitioning from Quaswex to Exort is going to take longer, and finishing his Ags is going to take longer, too. So not the best position for EG to be in, if that is one of their win conditions, but at least Arteezy's net worth is sitting pretty decent. And look at this, so Sumail's just starting Roche.
Yeah, he just walks right in, but they do not have the RP available, though. But it doesn't seem like PG's really keen on knowing what's going on. They're just focusing on the side camps over here, so this could just be a very free Roche for them.
Yeah, maybe a little greedy for them, but hey, they've got massive damage on Juggernaut. There's a Sunstrike.
Sunstrike, they know what's happening in the pit immediately.
It's too late, though.
Following up with the Healing Word, and like you said, it is definitely too late. Sumail's going to grab himself the Aegis.
When you start Roche this early, like the damage you need to deal, when your damage is like this oversized for Sumail like it is, it just gives him this opportunity to easy early Roche. And all it took was a couple bodies and a Healing Ward, and boom, they get it. So Another big pickup for Sumail, more gold for his team. In the meantime, EG was just worried about getting jumped on or picked off, potentially controlling their area, and they just couldn't contest it. But they're behind in net worth, so it makes a lot of sense that OG took that opportunity.
Got the Atos completed now for Thompson, so that's even more control that they're going to be able to add to these fights.
That one's going to hurt Monkey a lot, primarily, because he needs to move around and fights a lot, so if you can guarantee disable on him before he gets BKB, it's a big advantage. Either him or Invoker. Those are the heroes to nail with your combo.
I mean, Thompson has just been very, very good at realizing which tree that the Monkey King is generally going to be hiding in if he shows in that lane. So it's already...
I think that's another reason they picked Hoodwink, because you can get some nice flying vision with Acorn Shot. Bushwhack is going to catch people stuck to trees anyways, so Monkey King's more likely to be there. And now OG's just going to pressure the top racks while EG tries to play for this tier 2 that has frankly barely been touched. They drop another Serpent Ward to get some damage in.
Go home.
And yeah, EG's going to maybe get this tier 2, but look what they're losing in exchange for it. A lot of HP at a tier 3 tower at 19 minutes.
I'm not too sure about this.
Look at the damage. It's just going to die. They're moving over to setup.
I mean, they're trying. They're throwing out the Deafening Blast, but Sumail, yeah, just spins to win over here. Still has that Aegis. It still haven't taken the tier 2 bottom just yet. Ice trying to get into this position. The hookshot does not connect.
Okay. Could be better for EG to initiate now, knowing Clock can't get a disruption fight here.
But you're like, look at the positioning of Sumail and everybody else. They're sitting so far back. They're just letting him, you know, be the brave guy up front. He's got the Aegis, the Hex, of course, right forward again, but he'll get a shackle. Crit just lets go. He's like, well, guys, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. I need someone else to come in with me. I need the rest of the team because we don't want to just blow some of these big team fight ultimates on just Sumail. Again, who has that Aegis. They're just literally watching him cut apart the base. Over on the side, oh, that's just a very dead disruptor. Sumail seeing this opening now, going to start rolling around or over onto Crit. The Hex comes out, Ice, trying to get into position. Zeb going in for the RP, but it's a beautiful tornado. Crit, oh, they'll take down Arteezy. Ice now having to move away. Zeb sitting a bit low, No Tail throwing out the cogs. They have the Gleipnir over on the 2 supports on the side of OG.
What an advantage now, and with some buybacks as well, the net worth goes insane. 12k advantage for OG at this point in the game. It's so difficult for EG to initiate on them, but with Thompson getting that pick off, now the rest of the game is looking pretty straightforward. OG's not going to stop. They've got 2 whole minutes left on this Aegis. Getting Aegis and then opening this up just completely changed the game.
They haven't been able to touch Sumail. You saw, like, Crit, at one point he gets the shackle off, and then it just throws his hands up in the air like, well, guys, what am I supposed to do? I can't do anything else. They have 98% win rate, hope. Oh, gosh, right into the backlines, right onto Crit. They know that he is a big part of that. They'll follow up with the Ravage, but where's the rest of the damage? Where's the rest of the team? Arteezy joining back in, does get the kill on No Tail, follow up with the Boundless. They've already got Soxon just running after Arteezy. Look at that damage! Oh my god, there was an Arteezy there, but they just give up.
I'm not surprised. I mean, he had to get BKB because they've got to take this fight, but they've got an Elder Titan that's got Ags. He's got 4 points in natural order. So Monkey King walks in, 0 armor. It does not matter that you have lifesteal if you do not have any armor, because you're never going to win that trade. You're never going to be able to take that fight. So OG just opened the map like they got way too much net worth on Sumail. He had an excellent game. He's got a Magnus, so it got accelerated even faster. Monkey King was supposed to win his lane. He did okay. I don't think he got that many kills, if any. Probably 1 or 2 that I missed. The supports kind of tried to get some stuff done, but No Tail shut down a lot of that. Like, a lot of this comes down to their safe lane going well, Thompson winning mid more than he was supposed to by just a little bit, and then they just pressured the map so effectively. Got those some crucial kills. Thompson died a few times, but just didn't matter in the end. He basically created space with some pressure, and everyone else played so perfect that OG just said, Aegis advantage, let's go. Pressure the racks, and they did it.
No, it's interesting because we discussed earlier how OG tend to be the agents of chaos. You're not quite sure what they're doing, but this time, very clean, very, you know, just tempered in all of their movements, very disciplined. And I guess in some ways that is the agents of chaos, right? They did the unexpected, and it clearly paid off because they are able to take this first game in the BO2 series right now. So we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will have game number 2. Welcome back, everyone. This is a very highly anticipated match between Evil Geniuses versus OG. And we got a very quick game.
A very quick game, the fastest game of TI so far, I believe, which seemed pretty clear. Once they successfully got that top racks with extra kills, at that point you're like, you don't slow down here. You got the momentum, you win the team fight, you get the racks, you still have heroes alive, they bought back. It's like, you keep this pressure up. Don't let them farm the map. Don't let them try to catch up. You just keep hitting buildings until Aegis goes away or you lose a team fight. Hopefully not too badly to really let them catch up. But yeah, racks is at 20 minutes. That's gonna hurt your net worth for the rest of the game. So amazing play by OG. It was really a lot about the draft. I think the key things that they did was they saw Tide early and they said we're going to punish the crap out of that, assuming we can. And later on they picked Jug and they picked Clock as their last two picks to guarantee that they had this like really nice safe lane advantage. And they certainly did. It was like what, Shaman plus Tide. Clock is great against both of those heroes. Jug does tons of magic damage too. So both of them. Oh, and also just the trading they did pre-rune spawn. No Tail's like they saw crit without a salve with the ward. So, and then he sees Tide. Tide's got one tango. He's like, oh, I'm HP trading for sure. And they just use that to like keep Tide behind in the laning stage and get more kills and get Sumail more farm. And then they push that advantage into the mid game and power. And then they push that into Roche. And then they push that into an early Rax. It's like, it all cascades. There's so many small things that add up to OG ending the game at 20 minutes. It was cool.
Yeah, one thing that I thought we were both talking about, we looked over at Sox and we're like, oh my god, Soxa has an Aghanim Scepter already on Elder Tide. He had the same net worth as Seb at that point?
Yeah, he was like 400 gold less than Seb at the end of the game. It was incredible. He did hit a lot of creeps, I think, and that's why we didn't see him too much because he wasn't participating in as many fights. You know? But with that Eggs finish, all of a sudden he's magic immune in that mid Rax fan. I was like, what?
I know. I had a moment. I was like, he can't be. Oh my god, yeah, he does. He has the Aghanim Scepter. Good lord. But yeah, you know, he played excellent. They saw lots of stacking going on as well. That's able to further amplify Sumail's farm, having that empower to just help him clear out everything. And again, we saw once they broke into that base, it just felt like Evil Geniuses weren't able to do much of anything.
Yeah, in some ways, the ET really helped with that. With Soxa getting that fast Ags, it's like he knew that he was going to be able to go into the fight and fight to the death while magic immune. And as long as he's standing near Monkey King never wins these trades. He's never going to because he's going to have 0 armor and he doesn't have the net worth to be able to like buy an armor item. It's never going to feel good. It's like one of those hard counters for ET. Normally, the solution is like ET's not that farm, so he can't really like do it very often. He can't stand on top of him all the time. He just sits back kind of and like does the magic resistance reduction. But in that circumstance where his net worth is that high, it's like it just makes Sumail a god. It's like massive net worth advantage. It's like minus 15 armor or something like that. So really tough for Arteezy in that circumstance to fight, even though his net worth was okay.
Yeah, and it definitely, you know, we saw some of that movement going on early in game number 1. Just the way that Evil Geniuses then started to collapse, right? They started to collapse onto the bottom tier 1 tower. They started to try to take advantage. And that movement felt very standard for EG, you know, trying to force the enemy jungle just to get smaller and smaller. But it definitely didn't end up paying off for them because they just started moving towards that top part of the map, gaining control of Roshan. And yeah, we're having a little moment here, guys. I think
somebody fail loaded. You know, it's like when you get in that game and you look up your opponents and like one of your friends is still loading. You're like, don't connect. I don't want to play against an AUI stack again. Yeah, that's what happened just there. EG was like, oh god, I'm scared. Now somebody just had issues loading.
Okay, I was looking over and I was like, oh no.
In reality,
45 minutes of Purge and I having to fill again.
It was probably one of the 50 people in the broadcaster slots for TI that usually has issues. They run some like, you know, some max running Dota. No, I'm just kidding. They use good PCs. But the game is gonna start now, so let's take a look at what they end up doing differently. First off, EG's going to ban the Magnets. They don't want to mess around with Empower carry stuff. If he didn't have Empower last game, Jug would have been ahead, but not like really ahead. Roshin would have been much harder. He would have lost about 30% damage there as well. And he would have been forced into more of like a traditional item build, like a Maelstrom type thing that farms you well, but doesn't get you from camp to camp fast like a Yasha does. So that's going to be off the table for EG, or for OG, that is. The 2Gs.
I know, right? Just one letter difference, but definitely two very, very big powerhouse teams. Storm Spirit again banned this time around. They do not want to allow Abed to have this hero. They value it quite highly.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Of OG.
You can beat it in lane, certainly, and gank it sometimes if you have the right matchups. But like after that point, dealing with Storm definitely becomes a bit of an issue, especially for your supports. Like your supports just know that you're always going to get going on in the back line. So it makes their play style much harder. I wonder if they just want to get it out of the pool because it makes it so much harder to execute their advantages and their team fight stuff.
That's what I was wondering too, because if you pick up a Storm Spirit, or you allow the enemies, right, to pick up the Storm Spirit, you need to make sure you have a very specific set of heroes that can deal with it, right? You need to make sure that you have plenty of lockdown,
Yep.
and that you don't have things that are too squishy. It just adds another layer of things that you don't want to have to worry about. And again, it is just a very good hero right now.
Yeah, it definitely can be really effective. So maybe getting that out of there for OG covers their bases a bit. EG just going to do the old ban the heroes they picked last game method. So this is going to allow a lot of strong heroes in the meta. Snapfire's these are the heroes that are going to make it through. One of them will not probably. Snapfire, Tiny, Monkey King are the most
Tiny.
obvious one. Tiny ends up getting banned as the solution. So EG gets first pick. Will they go for the Monkey again? Or will they grab a different hero, like the Snapfire?
But do you give the monkey to OG, I guess is the other thing. Do you give them their spirit animal,
That's
basically?
true.
Because that's a Thompson special right there. We've seen Sub play it. It's just so versatile. Yeah, they don't want to let it go into the hands of OG.
It's still flexible in the draft. OG could easily go for the Snaptide dual lane, lots of minus armor, very effective as a dual lane. That's what I feel like I've seen other teams open up in this circumstance, but maybe they have something else in mind. Maybe some other mad scientist drafts that they've prepared for this approximate game circumstance.
I mean, it feels like forever since we've seen both of these teams, really, right? I mean, it's just been a long year.
It has,
just
yeah.
Period. But definitely feels OG, they've been taking some time off. They've been working on, redeveloping themselves. And this time they're going to go for the IO.
Of course, the other hero we did not mention, the IO. So they're going to go for an IO strat. A lot of the times I've seen IOs, it's always like the first pick, typically when it squeezes through. So we'll see if they do their pairing. Almost every team that I've seen who opened up IO first, they would go Storm second with it. So they do IO plus Storm because it's a great combo. Unfortunately for OG, they pick Storm. Maybe this is why EG was like, Monkey's going to feel better because the IO Storm combo is solid. Or they could pick their IO pairing, or they could just be more flexible.
It seems like most of the teams that we saw yesterday, especially the Chinese teams, they did not put a priority on picking up the
pairing
right off the bat.
Yeah, that's
kind
true.
of forces, evil geniuses to reconsider the hero pool. Like, okay, they have an IO, and IO has to pair with something, and then you have to immediately now decide what is something that I don't want to see. And luckily, we talked about Storm being taken out, the Tiny as well, and they just go straight up for the Treant Protector.
All heals and saves,
All heals all day, baby.
Treant obviously has great lane pressure if he wants to as a 4. He can work as a 5 as well. So, but very similar principles here. Healing your allies, healing your towers, saving them generally. And they're going to go for some tower push with the Lycans. Great common pairing that we've been seeing from the beginning of TI. Everybody knows Lycan is good since last patch. He's a little bit weaker now, but still very effective in this tournament when paired with these melee carries that already are going to have a good time. Because you go Helm of the Overlord, then you buy the Ags, and then you turn your already strong melee carry into a Wolf melee carry who has max movement speed and a 40% damage increase with some chance to lifesteal back and forth with Lycan. It's a good strat, and it's going to be effective no matter what the rest of their draft looks like.
It's absolutely wild, too, when you're seeing the wolf monkey just jumping from tree to tree, and then all of a sudden, surprise, there you are. But a pretty classic ban when you have an all-heal kind of strat going on. They ban out the Ancient Apparition. There's still other things that can definitely be effective against the all-heal. One of those, Scotty's very, very popular, Spirit Vessel, things like that. But another thing, too, to keep in mind, since they do look like they're going a little bit harder for the push this time on Evil Geniuses, you have that tree armor. And that tree armor is going to make it where you have to fully commit, generally speaking, to taking a tower, or else it's just going to be right back up to full.
Yeah. With that said, though, they're going to have really strong push with the Lycans. So, and a lot of it is just like clearing creep waves. So if you can clear the creep waves, especially safely, like Lycan can just push waves with his summons, basically. Push the creep waves, let the creeps get on the tower. Tower will be pressurable or die. But it is nice to have the tree armor to be able to offset that without having to fully commit, because that's what's so strong about like Lycan and other summon-based split push heroes, is that you can summon somewhere to do your dirty bidding while you still can kind of play with your team if you want to. So having tree to offset that isn't going to feel the worst for OG, I don't think. But the one negative about their support duo right now is typically the case with them is that they don't pressure the lane very well. You can definitely pressure Lycan with tree. I think that part's going to be okay, because Tree does have some good offensive potential. But usually, a lot of the Lycan lanes we end up seeing, they just put some like blah hero with it, and then the other lane's like, well, we don't have to worry too much. We'll also put a blah hero here, and then just nothing. They both just farm a lot. So if they can pressure him out of lane and maybe slow him down a bit, it could be nice. But from what we've seen so far, with no team really aiming for that, My assumption is it's just a little bit too hard to truly shut down the Lycan, so he'll probably just get in his farm like normal.
Now, I'm curious with what they've got going on here. You've got the Eye, you've got the Treant. They took out the Ancient Apparition. Is this possible that we're going to be seeing a Morphling added onto all of this?
It would look good considering the AA is banned. Some teams even were banning A in the first phase. I think Alliance was for some of the series we caught. There's the other common support, the Snapfire, which would have been completely fine. But they've got both supports already, so it makes sense to take out the best one. Tide gets banned here. They ban out the Bristleback and the Troll as well. Troll would have been fantastic against Monkey and Lycan for the mischance / blind. Whether or not it's a Monkey 4 or a Monkey 1, either way, the mischance will be nice against. Would have been nice against those guys. And finally, a Batrider ban. So they go for Gyro as the IO combo.
Right, they're going to go for the... And again, if we see the IO and the Gyro, so usually that's exactly the pairing, right? There's always the chance with OG we're going to see something completely crazy and different.
There he is.
But what would you say the percentage chance is that this is just the standard, straight up?
Sumail Gyro?
Yes.
I would say relatively high. It's a pretty good Gyro game. Flat Cannon against Lycan Wolves in laning stage is cool. Like, good way to basically cover your support a little bit from that Lycan damage. Because once you get them to, like, half HP, any, like, hero that summons in the lane, like Enigma or whatever, it's all about just, like, lowering the HP of the summon so they can't harass anymore. And whichever one you attack, they run that one away, blah, blah, blah. It's like a game. But Flax is just going to, like, get them all pretty low. It will push the lane also, but ultimately taking the pressure off could allow them to pressure Lycan more. Of course, it could be tops and mid playing it, but that's not really that common right now. I think it's just much more likely it's carry Gyro. It hasn't had the highest win rate, but we have seen we did see one very successful IO Gyro. It looks like it'll be all right, frankly, against the hero matchups. Silencer and Ember though for EG. Ember was banned last game in the second phase, like we said then. Abed's had some good win rates on, I think 3 games, 3 wins. So it'll be great for poking and limiting mobility of the enemy squad. Silencer is going to be great for offsetting any counter initiation or potentially saving yourself using your abilities, which could be impactful. Delay tree armor, delay overcharge, delay overgrowth.
Overgrowth, which
a lot
is
of
the
over
big
things.
one,
Over call down.
That's
my favorite way to call it.
That's not a thing. I guess it makes sense, though, because it does come from overhead.
Exactly. I could have said that instead.
You could have, but you didn't. Silencer, no, everybody knows. I hate this hero so much. I hate him so much. He's the anti-fun hero. We have this beautiful game called Dota 2 where you're able to play different heroes and press spells, and Silencer's just like, nope, you don't get to do that.
Did you play Dota when Silencer had the last word aura? That was the worst.
Oh my god.
His aura was like every time you cast a spell, you were silenced for 3 seconds. It was an aura. So it's like every fight you're like, cast a spell, sit around. Cast a spell, sit around. It was the worst. Thank God they removed that shit.
Just remove Silencer. Just remove him.
He's fine.
Just remove him. He's got stupid hats anyways. But, one of the things I was talking with Fogged about is, we've been seeing a lot of the Silencer pick up. And he's saying, he's good for the laning stage, right? He's very good and able to kind of, put that harass out. But once we get into the later game, we run into all these neutral items that are able to just remove all of his spells. Like, no problem for the most part. So it feels like right now Evil Geniuses, they want to place a lot of early pressure onto the map, but when you look at what they have too, they've got the D push over on OG, you've got of course the Treant Protector. I feel like that's going to be a bit difficult.
Yeah, they might not be able to like pressure towers really effectively, but their ability to like poke and skirmish looks pretty good on EG's side. You basically just want to maneuver and look for the right opening, and the moment that OG is about to be in a clinch, that's when you global silence, and that's going to stop even things like Tusk Snowball. But what's really cool now about the OG draft is you got somebody playing a core role that's weird. IO Tree or Tusk are hitting creeps. If I had guessed, I would say Tusk 3, which we did see Beast Coast play around with. And I went on this, like, it took about 15 minutes of the total cast time, but I talked about how cool Tusk Ags is, and you just never built the damn thing. This game, it's actually still a decent Ags game. They have dive heroes, Lycan and Monkey King. Tusk Ags legitimately is pretty sick. It's like a 10-second cooldown. The kick range isn't like half the map like it used to be, but it's very easy to cast now. It's not based on where your 2 heroes are positioned. You can choose the direction you kick, which is how kicks work, guys. Like, come on, obviously.
But who's he kicking this time?
Monkey King. After Monkey King jumps in, initiates, pops BKB, you kick that bastard back into the trees. And yeah, he's going to come back because he's got good mobility. But if he dove in that way in the first place, Primal Spring's going to be on cooldown. Sure. If it's Lycan, it's going to take him 2 or 3 seconds to run back in. It's legitimately good. If I don't see it one time at TI, despite Tusk being picked as 3 routinely, I'm mad.
10
But
seconds.
I'm
You gonna put something on
I'm
the line
also
with
bad.
that? Are you just
I'm
gonna say
mad and
mad, or are you gonna
I-
actually like bet something here,
I'd
dude?
be mad and
5
bad.
seconds
Me
remaining.
saying it on broadcast is already betting. What are you talking about? So
I'm just saying, if you were Kyle, you would make some sort of outlandish bet right here, right
no,
now.
people force Kyle to say and do
No,
outlandish
nobody
bets.
forces him to say anything. Kyle just says things.
Kyle does Kyle himself. But
That's
I
how he
think
was
it's
running around naked in the snow.
allegedly. I didn't see it. Don't want to
You're-
see
be
it.
very
And if it
lucky
was
you
my
didn't.
mind, I would be.
Now that you all
Anyways,
have that beautiful image in your heads.
Tusk 3 is being dabbled with a bit. We saw Beast Coast play it. They went for a Treads, I believe, into Echo Saber, into Solar Crest, into Halberd in that game because they needed a Halberd. I would love to see somebody fit an Ags in there, probably as a second item.
OG's turn to ban.
But maybe you won't see it. Maybe it's just Tusk support. Maybe it's going to be the
Evil
IO3
geniuses
that's been
turn to
rumored, but I haven't seen it played yet on main stage. Teams are trying it in pubs and wherever else, but I
mean,
think
this
it's
would be
more
the
likely.
team to do it if they were going to run it.
It would. I think, and it again, it could also be. Yeah, it's one of those two. It's probably IO or Tusk guaranteed off. It could be Tree 2. The Tree 3 kind of can work too, but they're gonna grab an Ursa. So no matter what happens, like laning against the safe lane is gonna feel weird, and that's because Ursa's looking at this. He's like, IO 3, I'll fight that. Tree 3, I'll fight that. Tusk 3, I can fight that too. Tusk 3 is a little bit more dangerous, but Ursa's certainly going to be able to out-regen Tusk, I assume.
10 seconds remaining.
Unless he has to deal with tag team issues. Tag team could be kind of scary, but he can leap over the ice
5
shards
seconds
perilously,
remaining.
but safely. So you should be able to get out if there's trouble there. But that's a little spooky. Silencer Ursa looks decent, but if they go on the Silencer, definitely killable. And Face the Void's their last pick. So some guaranteed lockdown against the fast Lycanthropes.
All right, moment of truth. Come on, tell me what this 3 is over for the side of OG. Evil Geniuses is fairly cut and dried. What's it going to be?
They do Monkey 4, by the way, so with the Ursa being picked, clearly it's going to be a bear Lycan, a werebear.
Good old werebears.
A good old werebear. That's pretty terrifying, actually. Crit on a max movement speed Ursa that it also attacks max attack speed. It's like insane. That's really spooky. I haven't seen this combo yet. It's going to be an IO3.
Off lane. Aisle,
Set's
let's
playing
go.
it. So 4 position Tusk. We're not going to see an Ags. I'm glad I brought it up again. And Treant
Someday, buddy.
Protector
It's going
as
to
a
happen
5.
for you.
Eventually,
It's going to happen. And then you know what? He's going to kick that aisle so far that he's not going to be able to come back to the fight. And you're going to have this moment of, oh,
That's
thank
true.
God.
There it is, finally. Tree plus Faces Void as a safe lane against the Lycan Monkey. That should give Void some really nice stability between Leech Seed and Armor, depending if they need it. I like that. Tops and mid Gyro, that's a little bit wacky too, but against an Ember Spirit, it's probably going to be fine. He should be able to farm relatively fast, push out the creep waves with Rocket Barrage and Flat Cannon. He's going to have a bottle, so it won't cost him as much mana. Like, he won't feel as mana poor as normal. And then later on, IO can pair whoever he wants. He's going to have save stuff. He's going to be able to get Greaves a lot faster due to being a 3, so he's going to have solutions against Global Silence. If somebody gets gone on, he's always going to be able to relocate. So I think there's some really good things about what OG's lineup can do in the mid game. Lane stuff, I don't want to be IO against an Ursa, frankly, but he does have good base movement speed. It's not necessarily the worst, and Tusk has save potential with both Shards and Snowball, so Soxa should be able to stabilize IO in the laning stage.
I don't want to be an IO against an Ursa, and I don't want to be an IO against a Silencer who's just plinking away at me the entire time.
Yeah, but you're going to plink him back. And the other nice thing is he's going to tether Tusk. They're going to do tag team to get this bonus right click, and then they're going to overcharge so that both of them have like 50 extra attack speed. So the tag team damage is actually going to be pretty significant, I expect.
I think you also want to be careful not to get overly aggressive against an Ursa as well, but perhaps if the Silencer is out of place.
You never know. It's possible there. All right, so making their way across the map. Let's see if they get anything weird done here.
Keep it PMA, keep it
Other than
DSJ.
pausing, of course. Pausing a little weird.
So what do you think? Are we over under 20 minutes for this one? Actually, let's say 30, right? Are we over under 30 minutes for this one? Because the last one was incredibly fast, like we said.
This one's going to be over 30 minutes, I think. Neither lineup is, like, ready. Well, okay, the one lineup that could, like, death push, there's a little potential on EG because of the Lycan, but OG is more likely. They've got IO, they've got tower hitters, that kind of. They've got lots of heals. Those lineups usually will function well for mega pushing. So I could definitely see. It could happen, but I think it's much less likely than the previous game. Unless somebody like blows the other out of the laning stage, pretty much. Should be a bit of a longer one. Both teams going to be semi-content to go hit creeps. So Can't
Everyone
wait.
was very, very excited, of course, for this matchup. So we'd love to see a very hype match and
30
perhaps one
seconds
slight.
to
Now
go.
that we've said this, of course, we're going to have like a 90-something minute game.
We prayed too hard
We
for a
prayed
longer
too
game.
hard and they gave it to us. Be careful what you wish for. No, it's going to be good. It's going to be good stuff. Sav already starting that BM like he likes to do, being sassy, dropping sprays, dropping all of that. And you can hear our lovely crowd cheering
they're excited.
softly in our ears
It's
right now.
a big match. Kind of a cool itemization for Fly right away. Rush the buckler, instant buckler. 3 armor for himself, 2 for his allies.
The battle begins.
Gonna help the laning stage. Sumail gonna be Jingu'd up here by crit with the Orb of Venom, and now maybe No Tail taking a bunch of damage on the retreat, but it's 1 more hit.
He's a tree.
2 more hits. 3 more.
Turn to start punching right back at Crit here. No Tail doesn't seem to care at this point as Crit bouncing, pogoing away.
All right, the moment they back is when he turns and slaps him 1 time on the booty.
Slow again. Look at No Tail. It's like, come back here, Crit. All right, fine.
Okay, no
Fine.
booty slap.
No booty slap. Sorry, Purge. None of that.
Let's get too excited.
All right, everybody is headed off to their respective lanes.
Thompson's gonna have a bit of a damage disadvantage in the mid lane. He's already gotten 1 creep denied, but he's about 9 behind. Gyro's damage classically very low compared to a lot of other carries. He's gonna have to do stuff like this, use Rocket Barrage to help him get a last hit. But he's getting some of them. He's doing fine.
Pretty quiet just off the bat here. Seb just tethered up to one of the creeps. Going to
Keep that creep
keep
living.
that distance. Keep the distance
So-
too. Crit top lane, putting a lot of just harass out, but immediately getting dished back. I love these lanes. I love because they're like so aggressive. They're just
Yeah.
slapping each other back and forth.
I love lane fights till somebody dies. It's the best. Arteezy taking quite a bit of damage so far from all those attacks from IO. So far, Fly trying to stabilize him a bit. I think this is why he went for the buckler. Actually, it's because they're a little bit concerned about the tag team damage. Because they are going to attack really fast with overpower. If he's giving Arteezy more armor, it's kind of similar in the headdress vein, is that he's just going to help stabilize him. He's got 10% more HP from any regen he gets, basically, and also from any damage he takes. So it's just going to help keep him alive and stabilized in the lane, because Silencer can't really stop them from hitting him. He doesn't have a stun. In some ways, they're slightly countered in this matchup due to that. But if EG does get some space, gets a pick off here, they can definitely get a kill. They're fighting bottom.
They are indeed, but again, it's very difficult to get overly aggressive against something like an Ursa because he's very, very powerful during the laning phase. He's going to start getting those stacks up as well, so...
Yeah, and he went for really early overpower here.
Yeah.
Most Ursas don't do this. They go Earthshock instead because it allows them to secure last hits, but with overpower being only 30 mana, it kind of guarantees that not only can he get some of these last hits that he slaps a couple times, he spends less time getting ready to last hit, and in these very small skirmishes, like these 1 second, half-second trades, he's doing much better for damage output, because normally you just beat anybody with Ursa, right? You hit him enough, but you don't want to fight for 5 seconds against tag team. It's just way too dangerous. So this build adjustment is really cool. I like it from Arteezy.
Despite all the slapping that we've had back and forth, still a fairly quiet game. I think we didn't see the first blood until about, what, 3 minutes in or so?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that it's on the way.
Arteezy in a little bit of trouble bottom. Gets tag team sharded in. Sox is going to have to run away now. So they both lose regen, but naturally that's going to be way better for Soxa with the IO pairing. Arteezy loses basically a salve worth, and they're out of regen here. They're running some more out, though. Salve, a mask of... Morbid Mask, sorry, coming for Arteezy, and that's going to make a big difference here. Despite all this fighting, he's still gotten great last hits. And now when he fights people in these big trades, he's going to get 15% of that back.
How worried are you if you're OG right now because of the fact that Arteezy is just, you know, despite having this threat, still just farming very, very nicely. And he is going to become a big problem.
It's fine. Like, they're still going even in the lane. I wouldn't necessarily say big problem yet. Like, Ursa's obviously a strong hero, but...
He comes online faster is the one thing that I'm going to be concerned.
He definitely can, for sure. But they've got some saves, you know. They've got relocate. They've got
True.
heals. They're going to have tree armor, probably. Maybe not right now, though. No Tail actually went for 2 points of Leech Seed in this lane, which makes a lot of sense. Great for a trading ability, because it's going to heal both him and Void. And it's going to make trading with Monkey King feel so much easier.
fairly quiet in this middle lane, seeing that Thompson's just backed off. He's going to try to do a little bit of farming off to the side. No-Tail needs to be a little bit careful here. Harass just a tiny bit, but
He seems fine. Like, he's got mangoes in the case, ready to do more leech seeds if he needs. Crit isn't going to get this like really nice abuse that Monkey King normally does with Jingu Mastery and Boundless Strikes, so that's all going fine. He's got
bottom lane, Fly is going to end up being the first blood, but Sax to follow, and Arteezy just doesn't want to bother with Seb. He's just going to continue to hit these creeps.
Okay, so they went the other way. Every other fight they were pressuring Arteezy, now going on Silencer instead.
Top lane to Crit. Oh, there's a bash, and he's trying to negate some of this. Finds Boundless. Crit's going to live.
Gets away. Low chance of time lock catching him there, but hey, either way, good pressure. And frankly, if Seb lives for these fights and gets the kills, he's going to feel good about it anyways. And First Blood was on the OG side, so they get a little bit more gold from that engagement. And he's approaching Holy Lock and only about 500. They're trading with Arteezy again. Lost half HP.
Oh, the shards!
Soxa so ready for that perfect placement there, right in front of him when he leaps away. And this dual lane is so scary. With Orb of Venom as well, like his ability to just keep you out of position is strong. He can't fight it.
I have to say, Sox, every time that I watch this guy, I always feel like he's got something where I'm just like, wow, he's such a good player.
He is. He's always been really, really solid. A little bit next level, very high MMR for
Shards
support catches.
again, Seb tethering up here. They put out the spirits over onto Arteezy. Snowball coming in. Are they going to go for this dive? Looks like they're going to try to. It is a little far, that's for sure. Sox is going to take some tower damage. Seb, though, nearby has that tether. We'll just heal him right back up again.
Tower hits set him a bit even in that trade, but either way, Arteezy just got back to the lane and he already loses 2/3 of his HP. Dodges the shard, so his salve keeps going at least. But things are looking okay for OG down here. The amount of pressure they're putting on Arteezy is getting him behind in last hits now. 25 versus 29 of Seb. And the Holy Lock gets done at 6 minutes. Holy crap.
Is that a new record, do you think?
I feel like it's got to be. He's got first blood plus a second kill. That's really quick.
On an IO, too.
If it's IO3, it's definitely possible, but man, very quick. So now they just have this like insane wand advantage. And the charges come back every 10 seconds. So it's just getting way more wand charges than them, and the heal is going to be insane.
Crit top lane. Nature's grabbing the leech seed, but we're going to follow up because Abed makes his way to the top lane. Sees Sumail and that living armor. Not going to do anything here as he also throws out. They still high five, you know, no hard feelings, but Abed will get himself a double kill.
Great rotation there, very successful. It's the one lane they can definitely pressure. Entry's able to slow this down, but Ember being able to dive all the way on Void makes it too strong. And getting a double kill for Abed is going to accelerate him a lot.
Fly, he is trapped in the shards. He's trapped with Soxa and Seb, and it's yet another kill for the offlane IO.
Great. QNet mech, level 6 almost for IO now. And it just gets better. Every level, they get another tag team, boom, more damage. It's gone Spirits as well, so that he can farm as well as damage in these exact moments, but we'll see where Arteezy goes. He's still sticking in the lane, and it's better for his teammates to take the damage than him typically, but he's going to go Treads here. Not phase, wants as much attack speed as possible, and this could mean that he's going to spend a lot of time jungling versus laning because the lane is so hard. Treads is just an incredible jungling skill on average. Huge DPS compared to phase. And there's a relocate top.
There is a relocate top. Ice is not looking so lively, as he will get taken out by Soxa, and you can see Crit just bounces away, says, oh dear, I don't want anything to do with this. And they're just going to go right back down to where they were.
That is so powerful, in my opinion. The fact that you can do that, like normally it's like you're bringing your carry somewhere. This is the offlane in the 4 who love to be active anyways, and then they just go on this Lycan who's supposed to be tanky and annoying to kill, and he just shredded like paper. Couldn't even tell the guy had armor.
Well, Wolves need no armor, but...
Definitely does this game against level 3 tag team.
Definitely does. I think I'm worried a little bit when I look at Arteezy. You know, he is sticking in the lane, but I feel like even if he were to leave, right, even if he were to try to go in jungle, they would just continuously hunt him.
They certainly can go follow him in jungle. So it's definitely Soxa, something Soxa is going to want to do, or most likely do, because he's got outs with Snowball and Shards. So yeah, if he does go jungle, they can pressure him. But with that said, a little safer together maybe.
just continuously bouncing. Abed also with rotation and fly. This is going to be a dead no-tail. Very nice moves moving around here, coming out here from EG. Definitely needed to start putting the pressure. But while they're doing that, Topson will put some pressure on the middle tower. So he will just teleport away, go back up top with the rest of the team. The call down, followed by the snowball over onto Ice, Ice, Ice with the tether. Ice, 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 he's very, very fast. They need to find a way to contain this wolf, and they do have the missile. It's going to take a while. It doesn't quite manage to outrun it. And there it is, the very satisfying thunk right at the end.
Yeah, I just thought it was going to stun him, but he's maxed out Homing Missile, maxed out Rocket Barrage, maxed out Homing Missile. Didn't care about the flat cannon like we talked about because he wasn't in lane against the Lycan. He's just all about casting spells.
He's going to be very careful. Crits here, Abed's here, Flies here, and pretty soon Smeal's not going to be here. See a silence, one more hit, and down he goes.
Abed absolutely the one holding the game together for EG because he's getting these great rotations after OG punishes so effectively, and he's got 4 of his team's kills so far. Gets the bottle refilled as well. It's going to keep on the map longer. He's got Maelstrom. And Sumail is just dying a little bit here, unfortunately. But the rotations are very effective. Sumail, the lowest net worth core. But hey, the rest of the map, things are going well for OG. And even if Sumail's a rough game, they've got another carry, baby. Gyro's going to transition.
Another high five in the mid lane. That rocket going right for the head.
And a little bit of a weirder item on Topson, but Drum. It's an AoE movement speed item. It gives you HP and more mana pool, but most importantly, these charges are so effective. And movement speed is great on Gyro. He does so much damage with his spells that just positioning better is really advantageous, and he's looking for a kill.
Oh, he's definitely looking. Finds himself that Centaur. He's got his eyes on some bigger prizes, though. The call down. They've got their vision on Fly. Sab will be able to finish him off. And now Arteezy, though, joining into the fight. Those flash charges, the Ice, 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 running away. Nice boundless, though, over on the back line. Followed up with the overgrowth. In comes the Ember Spirit. Ice, Ice, Ice will fall. Arteezy looking to get as much damage as it can. Can they get it? Oh, no, it's the nice Chronosphere coming out from Sumail. They'll be able to hold him right into place. Get the kill on Arteezy.
He's alive.
And he's still alive. Crit, though, over on the back lines. Running for his life. They'll get the root over onto Topson. He's somehow still alive. And they're chasing after Abed. They want this kill. Fly jumping in. He's probably just going to die for this, though. They turn right back around again. Get a nice high five off. And eventually, Fly is going to get hit with that missile. It's not even the missile necessary.
Oh, the fact that Topson was able to live during that fight was huge. Drum, I'm sure, made a big difference, but Ursa runs in. He pops his ulti, but Tree drops the Nature's Grass, so he lost the majority of that just trying to get into the fight. And Gyro target acquisitioning well, hits the back lines. You casted like 4 rocket barrages there. These things do like 600 magic damage per use. That's a finger of death dealt to heroes.
Yeah, we can see the replay over here. The way it opens up, you can see that they're focusing over on Fly. They want to get rid of the silencer. In comes Arteezy, and it's starting to look really good, right? He's starting to get some of these stacks of no-tail. Right in this position, though, waiting so he can get that overgrowth off over onto Ice, 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 and everyone else. So Ice, 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 gonna get chipped down. Abed coming in, trying to just find his angle, and look at this, Topson right over here on the side.
So good.
Still manages, though, to stay alive thanks to this IO, thanks to the living armor.
What an engagement. They did that so well. Get the chase going. Silencer feels the need to TP to save his friend, and he ends up dying as well. And 2K gold advantage now for OG. EG still in it, certainly, but the fights have been going a little bit rough there, certainly in OG's favor.
What exactly is going wrong in these fights for EG?
I mean, the main thing for EG was just that it was good that they moved up there, but Silencer died right away, basically got no effective spells off.
Teasy. Shards.
Oh, relocate as
Going
well.
for the reload. They do the global silence. They do find the kill on Topson.
Oh, wow. Big kill.
That's a nice find. Walrus punch over onto Arteezy. Seems like he's not quite ready to go into this battle. Wants to continue to farm.
And I see him TP in mid, so maybe they can make a move with this, knowing that he can't show up. They could go invade top potentially right now. Would be not bad, but they did lose relocate. They lost Topson. Topson, who it wouldn't be Topson without the Gyro Diffusal Blade, guys. So he's going for it. Drum into Diffusal Blade. Pretty weird, but it's good against a lot of their heroes. They're all, like, draining Ursa's mana, massive, right? No more overpowers. You can't Earth Shock around the fight. He doesn't have a huge mana pool. Lycan, kind of similar things. No more Wolves. Against Ember Spirit, also very good. Don't let him jump around in Remnants too often if you do get a Disable off. So that item can certainly be effective here. And it's something that's going to allow him to do more mid-game impact than something like, I'm going to slowly build Aghanim Scepter just to do more right-click. The utility that's going to provide is going to be really effective.
All the pings here. They do manage to knock down the tree, so we'll buy some more time. Just continue to taunt one another.
This build is cool on No-Tail as well. Maxing out Leech Seed. More AoE heal, which if it hits the person that's dying, they're going to be saved. And if it also hits Io, it's like a freaking mech.
It's so good.
It's literally better than a mech in terms of healing output. If he Leech Seeds the guy that's killing his gyro. It's a really smart pivot here for No-Tail in his build.
Feels like they're trying to bait Saksa. Got the Walrus Punch, he's got the living armor, and this is looking like Fly needs to get out of there much faster. Rolls right past him. They'll get the kill on Silencer. And Crit's just hoping they're not going to look too closely to these trees.
It's good for him to have vision anyways. That way they can spot to see where what they're doing next after this kill. That's why these wolves are here, for example. But as they spread out, get their D wards done. Going to be looking for another fight.
Yep, Diffusal has been delivered now to the gyro.
Get the courier here.
He wants it. Yeah, he's manages to get him.
Maybe
He's going to get two?
Needs
Chase him.
hits.
Get him. No. Oh, this little puppy. He's a little too wounded. But they go right into the Roche pit on the side of OG. Get the Diffusal Blade completed now for the Ursa, but no one's going to be able to get here in time. It's just going on way too fast, these TPs.
I was like looking at items and stuff, and then I look at Roche, it's like a sliver of HP left. But they bought the medallion on Seb as the third item. They have tag team for damage. They've got Diffusal, which is a lot of damage. Boom. Easy Roche kill. They're going to get this courier too. Anything bottom monkey? There's a Vid booster on it, so that's going to delay his Spirit Vessel. He didn't quite have it finished. Not the end of the world, but still a good kill. They backdoor the tier 1. No-Tail's looking a little dead, though.
Yeah, No-Tail's not looking healthy, so we'll find themselves an opening.
I'm surprised he almost ultied there. That definitely would have been a mistake.
Yeah.
There's no getting out of that one. Oh, relocate top.
Relocate coming in hot. They'll find Ice, Ice, Ice. There's going to be the global silence, but you can see Sumail running right on over here. Wants this kill. Io tethering right on in, and it's a dead Lycan.
I mean, that's a great usage for a global silence, is just stopping the relocate every time. Don't let them get those easy setups. In reality, they're just trying to do it a little safer, so global being offset is not a big deal, but it is useful in this match for sure. The power of silencer. We haven't felt it much, but he's just trying to cover his team, give them advantages. But EG's still farming well.
There's a lot of couriers that just died here.
Oh wow, there really was.
Yeah, EG's just killing every courier. They're very angry at their owners.
That's cool. They're putting wolves in the lane, and then they're putting monkey in the trees. So when they go in the trees to hide the wolf threat, there's a monkey threat waiting for you.
The old bait and switch. Big stack, though, getting taken by OG. The family that farms together stays together.
Good items.
And that's the neutral item pinata effect, where everything just falls out from that one stacked camp.
Grove Bow, Brigand's Blade, Sumail catching up in net worth pretty well, sitting at 7.5. Not too surprising. Ursa usually farms decently well with this common Diffusal build. Not as good as the old Battle Fairy days, but it's just too greedy. So Sumail's also been able to catch up despite the slightly rough laning stage due to all the odd-bed rotations. But top net worth, it's Thompson, but just at about 10k. Glyph gets popped, but they're not leaving. They're definitely going to take this one as well.
Nice efficiency, too. They end up digging up one of the bounty runes. They'll be able to bottle it and then just heal up as well. What do you think, dear? Are we going to see a base crack in 20 minutes?
It was kind of looking like it right there, but they want to defend their tier 1
Going back, Saksa, first one to show up. He's going to try to push them off. Get rooted into place. Arteezy wants his kill. Should be, oh no, they've got the snowball. He's going to be able to just roll right back on over, and Sumail's ready with the Chronosphere. Starts whacking away over on this Ember Spear. Does he have enough damage? Oh, with the bashes! He does! Seb toining up there. Now the follow-up. Thompson finds Fly. We'll get a kill there. And No-Tail with that overgrowth. They've got the reload. No-Tail most likely going to die. Although maybe he's not. He's actually still alive. Arteezy is the one who's going to get tables turned on him.
Crap.
Wolves, though, chewing all on this wood. You know, they like a big stick, but doesn't matter. Seb being the Wambulance, coming in hot and keeping No-Tail alive.
Dude, OG just making the plays. They're doing moves that seem kind of dangerous at the start. Like Saksa runs into 4 heroes, and I'm like, all right, I haven't seen a team do this all tournament. Like, be careful, you know, be aggressive by yourself. But it bought them time. It bought him a circumstance with the defensive snowball. He knew his limits. EG gets a little overbaited. Then Sumail does a solo Chronosphere, and I'm like, surely this isn't good. Like, where's the damage fall up? There's nothing. But he got just enough damage in there to kill the Ember, and then from there, it was just dominoes falling, man. They set it up so well with these aggressive moves, and EG half commits and loses a little bit more advantage.
OG looking like their TI form. Abed. Got two things going. Crit looking in the back line. They want to get rid of Seb. They realize that he's very, very important. There's the silence. They should be able to finally take him out. Thompson putting out some more damage over onto Fly. Has to be careful. There's plenty of EG heroes in this area. Of course, he does have the Aegis, though. He's feeling very, very powerful. Look at the damage he's just outputting. Fly barely able to stand here. One more hit, he's going to get taken down. Sox on the back lines. Gets taken out by Arteezy. The follow-up now, Thompson. This Aegis is going to get popped, my friend, as the rest of EG wait patiently for him to come right back up, and they will give him a big old bear hug, and he's not going to be able to teleport out in time.
It was a good try, but the Ursa's damage is too high here. And without the IO, Gyro got some effective damage in, but I can't help but think he was just being a little bit too resource careful. He could have used Diffusal Blade to keep the Silencer slightly more to the right, but he went for the dive, and it took a little bit too long to kill Silencer there, as a result losing Aegis. So there are moments where your aggressiveness is going to hurt you, that's for sure. And that was one of them for OG, losing legitimately like 2 to 3K from those deaths right at the end.
A lot of these back and forth fights. We've got around a 1K net worth lead going to the side of OG. They've just been scrapping, I feel like, nonstop. I have not seen them chill and just go farm really at all, other than Arteezy occasionally hitting a camp.
Or Sumail. Sumail hit a lot of creeps the first like 15 minutes after the laning stage. He just needed to catch up a little bit. He's almost got his BKB now, so he'll be all right, but Fly maybe in trouble.
Fly again. Soxa and Seb making their way over. Walrus punch with the tag team. That is a kill for Soxa.
Pickoffs. Plate mail on IO as well. It's going to help cover him against the Ursa with the Dragon Scale as well. More regen, more armor. He just wants to be able to survive because he knows he's the most vulnerable guy. But he's in a good place. The fact that he feels comfortable buying armor and not just like Ghost Scepter, don't let you hit me at all, means that he's feeling okay about his net worth. And it's going to overall make it harder for Ursa to get kills on him as the game continues. Because he's got armor right now. After this Lotus Orb, I bet he buys a heart or something like that just to really amp up his HP. And that's when Ursa's going to feel like a wet noodle for the first like 10 hits.
Smoke play coming out from OG. They know that Abed is nearby. Sumail. Smoke will pop. He's going to go forward. No, it's already zipped away. Sox on the hunt. But there's no one else really home down in this area. You have, of course, the Wild Bear. Thompson popping the BKB, turns right back around. It's just going to walk outside of the Monkey King ultimate. Wolves should be able to deny the Invis rune.
Pretty well done. Trading Monkey support ulti for Gyro BKB is great, but the global silence being lost is a little bit rough. It did save Crit's life, though. Rocket Barrages would have guaranteed that.
Thompson gets hit with the Boundless. Arteezy coming in hot here. No tail. Waiting patiently.
That diffusal
and go back in if necessary. They'll get that hit off. But these Wolves are crunching away over at Thompson. They're going to have to push him out. In comes Seb, though, followed with the Overgrowth. They've got the Snowball. Can they control Abed? It's looking pretty darn good. But he's got the Yules. Do they have it? Can they get it? Yes.
Diffusal pays off. He did not have enough money to throw the Remnant right away, so he's forced to Sleight of Fist. It wasn't enough time to get him out. So great punish there. It looked pretty iffy for Thompson there. Another really crucial move was when Ursa jumped forward to go on him. Thompson used Diffusal Blade, so he couldn't gap close that last like 200, 300 units, and thus wasn't hitting Thompson. If he was on top of him, Arteezy would have been super happy to continue the fight, but he realized that slow, it was not a good time to pop Ursa ulti. He tries to disengage, he pops it anyways, and then Abed eventually gets collapsed on by the rest of OG covering Thompson.
So I know that we have the BKB picked up on Arteezy now, which I think is exceptionally needed when you consider what's being thrown at them. But I still feel like they're being very efficient and able to kite him.
They are. BKB is going to help a lot because it's going to allow him to save and rage until he really needs it, like pre-Chronosphere or to lower status resistance on some big stun, you know. So it's absolutely going to help. He needs it. Otherwise, there's just too much disable that's going to mess with him. Overgrowth, for example, he can't necessarily, like, he wants to save. He could BKB, Overgrowth comes out, then he enrages afterwards. You need both, basically.
They have vision over on Abed. They do have to go through this backdoor protection. The creep's not quite there just yet. No tail. Looking to teleport away. No, he's going to stay here. No Root Void into place, but look at this heal coming out from Seb.
The mech and the other items. The survivability of these guys is huge. Just taking turns, tethering everybody.
Push them away.
Dude. Well, this is 4 minutes later than last game, but they're going to play this one safer. Look at the top
They
push.
back off. They do smoke play, though. They're going to go for the reload. Silence over. Ice already in that wolf form.
Nicely done.
Saksa is going to back off. He's going to
Ooh.
get chased down by the zoo if he's not careful. But while this is going on, they still have it. Oh, nice boundless, though, coming out from crit. Slows them down. Arteezy joining into the fight. Thompson a little bit slow. They're down the nature's grasp if they try to follow. But look at the Seb is just constantly keeping them at just at least 90% health or more, it seems.
They end up defending the tower. It looked a little hairy. The global did save Ice for sure. Tusk was able to catch up. It very possibly would have been a kill, but they hold him off. But the Black Dragon heads back towards the top lane, so
No
could be
crit.
threatened.
Landing 3. A little time up in the air here for Thompson. They just cannot seem to get them to leave. Arteezy realizing, okay, I guess I'll go Roche. He's trying to figure out what on earth he needs to do because OG is knocking and they are coming at you with a battering ram at this point. There is no denying them into your base.
That's gonna be Rax. They just don't feel comfortable fighting into it. It's too difficult. But they get the Aegis, unfortunately a little bit later than they would have liked, but it's a good thing to do for Arteezy, honestly. The fact that he can just solo Roche on his hero, perfect for this game circumstance. He would have loved to do it last game, for example. He's like, we're not fighting this, so I might as well get some good objective. And getting Aegis is a good thing. Starts the timer, gets the next one up faster. Lycan's finished Ags now. It's okay for them to lose a Rax at this point. In fact, they are ahead in net worth. So this might look a little reminiscent of last game. It's not the same situation at all. EG's done a great job keeping their net worth on all of their heroes. Those early Abed rotations stopped it from getting out of control, but this one, also going to work.
Abed immediately says, absolutely not. But yeah, I would say definitely. They also have, more potential to be able to push out lanes and be very mobile right over on the side of EG. You've got a Lycan that continuously, tapping at the door, and of course you've got Abed on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, he's much safer to push these side lanes for a while, at least until OG gets some disable item. But I'm not sure if they will. They're very much planning for high ground, forced confrontation things.
Just toying a little bit with Abed. It's Rudolph over on the side. Arteezy, considering, does have the Blink Dagger. Force forward over onto No Tail. Global Silence, not going to be enough to save the tree.
Oh,
Io
no.
now, Seb, there it is. There's a Chronosphere coming out from Sumail. Seb going to tether back over to Thompson. Gets the flak off. Not quite enough damage, though, to finish off with that Chronosphere. And these dogs are just chomping away over at Seb. He's still quite healthy, though. So they're going to back off, though. The Monkey King ultimate, slowing them down. Saksa trying to fight through. He cannot do it. Got the living armor over on Seb. Not going to be enough to save him as well. EG coming in fierce, but Thompson with the BKB flies, taking so much. So is Arteezy. He is going to pop, as will Fly. He's coming back up again. Abed, though, slicing away over at the side. Will be able to take down Sumail. They'll find another kill over on No Tail. Saksa is not looking good either.
EG's playing this fight so
Snowball
good.
up, Saksa with the Essence Ring. They'll jump forward. It's a triple kill now for Arteezy. Thompson forced to just immediately teleport away down to the bottom lane.
Incredible fight for EG. They just played the poke game so well there. They move in, they put some pressure on the tree who's a little out of position. OG's thinking, we got to save this guy. They put some effort into it, and the moment that Lotus Orb got used on tree to save him from the slow on Ursa runs in, Diffusal Blades him, Lotus gets used, then there's Global Silence. So now it's you can't remove the heal or remove the silence from Io to cover him. There's the clip once again. There's the disable. They're going to stun him. Watch for the Diffusal Blade. That's going to slow him. The Lotus Orb comes out. Instant global silence, so they clean up that kill. Now he can't retether, so he's taking damage. They have to chrono here, but there's not much damage follow-up. And Seb is trying to help Ursa be effective, but they didn't have much catch-up. And again, Seb tethering away. Okay, he's going to be all right here. But a hairy moment here for him. He did relocate briefly to the fountain because they need to get here as soon as possible, but that was just looking for kills, so that'll buy them time for their team to respawn. No chrono just yet, though. But great fight for EG. 7k gold advantage, cost some Aegis, but that was about it.
Let me take a look at this Dota Plus win probability. We're looking 59% to 41. It's a big shift here.
Yeah, it's looking good for him. The Lycanthrope Ursa was really terrifying. Again, the max movement speed is hard to deal with for OG. They're playing with a lot of slows. They have some disables, of course, but Ursa has the solutions to those now with the BKB. He's also got the shard as a result of that last one fight, so more enrages for free on this guy.
I think this goes differently if in the last fight, when they landed that Chronosphere, Thompson wasn't sitting in the bottom part of the river.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But
they were a little too spread out. He needed to be there to like DPS from the start, hopefully. But even if he was there, it was probably Ursa that's the guy that's taking the damage. And even if you kill him, he's still there just to respawn. So I don't know if it would have made that big of a difference. The biggest thing is just that Tree died pretty quick.
all the things going on in the corner. Saksa just walking past RTZ, gives him a little love tap, throws out a couple spells because guess who's on his way? It's Sumail. He's looking to get out as much damage as he can. They'll go for the Chronosphere, ends up, holding Saksa into place. Global Silence comes out, though. Zabed zipping through. This is not looking good, though. They'll get the kill on RTZ. Lots of these slides coming out from Abed now. They're holding him into place. Again, there's going to be a Yules. Seb joining back in. He's going to be able to heal up. So they'll chase after this Ember, but they just can't quite get their hands on him. It's just too difficult. So for Bash, no, he's not going to be able to get there fast enough. Seb will go for a reload.
That was the return of the reload showing up for that fight. Very helpful, but I'm surprised Sumail was able to do enough damage. I don't even know if they used tag team there. It wasn't on cooldown after the Ursa was dead, so it just kind of seemed like Sumail owning. Everybody ran into it, but it was more than enough. And another item being picked up soon for Arteezy. His death is going to slow it down a bit, but wants to get the Scotty. And Scotty's going to be really good against Io. He's a ranged hero that loves healing. It's the perfect item against him. It's going to be really good against Gyro as well. So timing's coming up here for EG, but that kill actually really closed the net worth up a lot.
4K net worth advantage going over to the side of EG.
His middle tower is under attack.
It's strong.
Back off. Over on the side of OG. Reevaluate, probably wanting to wait for the Overgrowth and the Chronosphere to come up when they're ready.
Yeah,
but EG, again, they want that Scotty, but they also have a better skirmishing ability if they find someone who's out of place. In fact, they actually go for the smoke play because they understand that these big cooldowns, or sorry, these big ultimates are now on cooldown. So now's the time to strike and take advantage of how just skirmishy they are.
Yeah, they've got pretty good grab potential. Almost Nacy and Lycan as well, so great auras, lots of damage output.
Look at how they back. They're like, no one is showing on the map here for UG. They've got to be going for the smoke. They go for the scan. Immediately find where they are over in the triangle position.
No-Till trying to break smokes, getting ready to force staff high ground in case anybody gets spotted here. But yeah, just got to play it safe. They know they're still, both teams very much still in the game, but in this exact moment, until they see EG, they're going to be scared. And the upside to EG, summons to push. They don't have to know where they are, they just know they're somewhere. And Sumail going to show on the creep wave.
Does get pinged out by Crit, spending that time in the tree. Positioning very good from OG, actually standing in front. However, they know now that there is a smoke.
Oh, big
grab. Shards coming out. Over on the side, though, Arteezy, is he going to be able to finish off No-Till? Yes, they are. Global Silence will pop as well. Crit on the back lines with the Monkey King Ultimate. He's going to be the next one to fall. Seb, he's got himself a Ghost Scepter, so he's going to stay alive a little bit longer. The chase is on. Beautiful Chronosphere coming out from Sumail, as they're going to be able to hold this bear in place. They'll take down Arteezy. They'll be able to go and take down Ice, and they're waiting super patiently here because they would love to get their hands on Abed. Abed most likely going to fall. Decent amount of damage. They just don't have any more hold to grab Abed.
Great fight for OG there in the end. The tree did die pretty quick, but I caught the top half of the fight. They ended up hitting ice shards on Crit hiding in the trees. He anticipated where he was going to be, and with that vision, Crit couldn't jump away. He has to jump down. Ice shards trapped him in. They were able to kill him right at the start.
Abed trying to go for this dodge. Thompson's just not afraid at all. Just runs on into the base. There's no buildings in that bottom part, my friend. You might have to redirect your attention. As Sumail and Seb make their way over to the mid. This is looking like they'll be able to get a decent amount of damage, perhaps even take some of these racks too.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to Chronosphere on top of both Wolves, especially in BKB, was so big. See if they can get too much out of it. Second racks here would be great.
It's trying very hard to try to push them back. They get a couple of these lights, but there's just too much damage coming out from these three. Or rather, too much damage coming out from two, and then, of course, the support of Seb amplifying that.
Second racks finishes. Really nice for them. Spider legs now on Io as well. That'll be great. More movement speed, and he can get away more safely if he is not tethered to his allies. And that kind of time is what he needs to be survivable against a hero like Ursa. They even unblock the large camp, now knowing that this is our space. We get to control here. But now they get scouted by this wolf as a result. They're going to go in for the fight.
They go for their own smoke play. Crit, though, jumping onto the trees. Abed sliding around. Sumail trying to find the opening. Gets the hit off. Silence over on the side. They'll go turn around on ice. Poor Arteezy here. He's going to try to chop away over at Thompson. And he's just going to have to run away. He cannot stand toe-to-toe. Abed, though, putting the pressure over on Saksa. It's like they should be able to find this kill.
All right. Not bad for EG. They get 2 kills in the end. Once again.
Ice should be... no. Oh, the missile.
It's doing so much damage. How do they fit so many rockets in a rocket?
Okay, BKB comes out from Sumail. He's going to try to man-fight crit here. Rest of the team standing nearby. They'll be able to take down the Monkey King. First being tossed out by Fly. He's trying to hide over here, trying to use the trees to his advantage. Too much damage down the Essence Ring, too. It will get hit. Thompson joining right back in. Chronosphere comes out from Sumail. We'll be able to hold Abed into place. They'll turn around. Seb looking to just get the tether out, but Sumail's doing so much damage to Ice. Even go and they take down the courier, though, on the back lines. Global Science coming again. They're going to try to fight here with Abed. This is not looking good, though, for Sumail. Eventually, he does get slain. And they'll find Seb.
Yo, that was so well played by Ice, actually, because it looked rough for Arteezy. Arteezy on the Ursa. He ran in, he starts killing the IO. IO pops Ghost Scepter. He's like, all right, I got to change targets. Goes for the Gyro. Gyro's running away at pretty good movement speed, and it looked like he wasn't going to be able to get him. But Ice was microing his wolves to guarantee that the Gyrocopter could not get away. Sumail's dive in here, gets the bash, which guarantees crits death, and they're thinking, let's get more. This looks great for us. They're chasing after Fly, of course, with the rocket. And the follow-up looks pretty solid, but here's the moment. Ursa jumps in the back lane, doesn't get hit by Chrono, goes for Seb, Ghost Scepter gets used. Now he's like, oh, I gotta go kill Thompson. Defusal is used. Watch this, Thompson's about to start getting away, but look at the wolf blocking. It guarantees that Arteezy gets that kill on the carry. He's able to rejoin the fight and help guarantee that Sumail goes down too. Really nicely done by Ice to micro during the chaos of that fight. He knew what the important hero was, and it was killing Thompson.
That opens the door now for EG. They were able to go and procure themselves the Aegis. They put the cheese on Abed, and they're feeling pretty happy right now. I can't tell you, the swings of net worth in these fights are absolutely insane. I think a second ago was a 1K lead advantage for OG. Now we're up to 11K on the side of Evil Geniuses. So we're getting the entertaining match that we were expecting.
Really are. And that was, I think, a free shard as well. Looks like it went to Ember Spirit, I'm pretty sure, since he's got one now. Not the most commonly purchased, but if it's free, heck yeah, go for it. It's really nice, especially if you throw it on somebody, because it does damage while it flies. It'll interrupt Blink Dagger. So normally where they see the Remnant coming, they're like, get out! Now you don't have to worry about that.
EG taking up residence over in the Dire Jungle. They're just waiting for OG to take a step out of the space. Ice in a very forward position.
It's just really difficult for them to fight into Aegis right now. Plus the cheese, plus the shards. The net worth advantage is getting bigger. Thompson's got a butterfly now, which is really great to have. Ursa's going to struggle killing him now for the rest of the game. Monkey King's going to feel useless against him in a lot of cases, so Thompson's a scary one. Sumail's not too bad either, though, but Scotty, Maelstrom wants to get Butterfly, but he's got a lot of time till he gets a new item. Great pushing out the side lanes with the summons, but unfortunately there's a big old black dragon that's going to cut this wave anyways, so... But they do have Rax advantage on 2 lanes, so that's going to give them a lot of space here.
Some lane shenanigans for sure. EG continuing to farm up over in the jungle, effectively pinning OG into the base, except for when they have the relocate. Thompson, though, taking a glance out. Arteezy running. They've got the defusal. Has to be careful, though. There it is. There's a Chronosphere from Sumail. He was very, very patient. They want to try to burst down this Ember Spirit, and it's looked like they're going to be able to do it. They turn right back around again, too, and they'll find the kill. Abed, though, going right back into the fight. Doesn't want to be left behind. Crit over on the side. They drop the Monkey King ulti, and the 4-step over onto No-Tail. We'll be able to buy him just a bit more time. Thompson, though, left behind over here on the side. He needs the help from Seb. Does Seb have the heals, though? Is he going to be able to keep him alive? No, he's not, as EG just starts charging over at OG. That's so stand by just a bit more time, but the slight forward. Seb will fall. No-Tail will fall, too. And Sumail will be forced to run back into his own base, leaving Saksa behind.
They reacted so well to the Chronosphere. Instant ulti from Arteezy.
Oh my goodness. Arteezy just leapt right onto Sumail. He wants blood. He's hungry. He wants this.
He knows. They can pressure, absolutely. It's hard for Sumail to do anything right now. Only 2v5. good luck fighting this one. They got everything they want. Refresher Orb on cooldown for Ember, but that buyback from Abed was huge. Basically,
They're just going for the finish here.
I mean, they should. There's no buybacks yet. It's a bit of a reveal here.
Bit of a reveal might be a bit of an understatement. Look at the damage. Soxy's trying everything. Got Snowball. They're going to try to just punch up into the air, but they're just going to get absolutely eradicated. The GG gets called, and Evil Geniuses will take the game number 2.
Massive, excellent game, I gotta say. EG played this one so well. Once again, laning stage went a bit rough. OG put the pressure on very strongly, but EG just made really strong decisions in their team fights. It's not easy to play against Chronosphere, but boy did they do it. They just knew what was coming. They played in the right area, and yeah, Abed did get chronoed and died there, but they just did such a good job targeting. I think the MVP, in my opinion, was Arteezy. He pressured constantly. How many times was it like No-Tail, maybe No-Tail a little too out of position, but he got killed consistently really early in like 3 or 4 fights in a row. So they didn't get to play around with overgrowth, offsetting Arteezy's advantage. And he just got to like hit those backline heroes and they couldn't stop him.
Yeah, you saw that they definitely put the priority over onto Seb after a certain point, just trying to dive in. And just the positioning coming out from Evil Geniuses looking very, very solid. Had a bit of a rough start in the very beginning, but they kept just right to their plan. And they knew exactly what they wanted to do, and it clearly worked out. So that organization really paying off.
Probably the players happy too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that probably too. Well, we have plenty more. I'm sorry, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, that was it. That's a great series.
Great series, going to be split 1-1 over here on Stream A, and we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got plenty more Dota 2.